Apple and Nvidia. Still love them both for the new year, right?
They're table pounders. I look at what we've seen in Nvidia. That's just a knee-jerk reaction, digestion period. Demand to supply is still 15 to 1. If there's one red phone, you need that chip. There's only one company in the world. It's Godfather of AI, Jensen, Nvidia. I think 4 trillion is the first one to make its Apple, right? And then second will be followed by Nvidia and then ultimately Microsoft. But it shows when it comes to Apple, the consumer AI revolution will go through Cupertino and Cook. And I think more and more that investors are starting to recognize that. I think as this ultimately plays out with Apple Intelligence.
Yeah. And what's your base case and bull case on Nvidia, your stock price there?
I think 180 to 200. I think when you look at Nvidia and how that ultimately plays out.
Nvidia had holiday pleasure on Thursday as its stock remained close to a critical threshold. The leader in artificial intelligence chip stock began trading at a purchase price of $140.76 in October, to a record high of $152.89, and then dropped below the 50-day moving average on December 10. However, the stock has returned to the 50-day line. To date, shares have increased by 180%. Is Nvidia a good investment right now? According to recent data, retail investors purchased the most Nvidia stock in 2024. According to Vanda Research, as of December 17, retail investors had invested around $30 billion in the AI stock in 2024. Tesla, the most popular stock among retail investors in 2023, loses the title to that. Nvidia is expected to surpass Tesla's 86% increase so far this year by more than double. Here are some further Nvidia 2024 highlights. The company's market capitalization reached $3 trillion, making it the second most valuable after Apple. Additionally, in November, Nvidia took Intel's place in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It joined the Dow Jones Industrials as the fourth Magnificent Seven stock. Microsoft, Amazon.com, and Apple are the others. The AI investment landscape is changing as we move toward 2025, moving away from an emphasis on general-purpose computing and toward solutions that are specifically designed to meet demands. This change makes it possible for software and specialized technology providers to include AI in their products. Higher interest rates, meanwhile, would encourage investors to put their money into well-established companies in the AI market that have significant room for expansion. With platforms for data centers, automated driving, robotics, and cloud computing, Nvidia is a leader in AI-driven solutions. Olympian Motors and Nvidia are collaborating to promote the development of the Olympus platform, a modular electric vehicle (EV) system driven by artificial intelligence. This partnership makes use of NVIDIA's Drive AGX Orentium and the NVIDIA Inception program to allow cutting-edge features including real-time data processing, predictive safety, and smooth AI model integration. Because of its open architecture, the Olympus platform fosters innovation and gives developers and tech companies the ability to influence how EVs will develop in the future. In 2025, a pilot program in California will showcase its potential, highlighting modularity, efficiency, and safety through the use of NVIDIA's state-of-the-art AI solutions. According to Vanda Research, NVIDIA has dominated 2024, bringing in around $30 billion in retail inflows. It's a coup for retail investors, not just for dominance. NVIDIA's stock has soared more than 180% this year, surpassing the SPDR S&P 500 ETF Trust and squeezing into Tesla's space as a fan favorite. With its state-of-the-art GPU technology driving AI breakthroughs across industries, NVIDIA is more than simply a business. It is the model for the future of AI. Did we also mention that this year it became a part of the Dow Jones Industrial Average? It is currently the second most valued firm in the United States and the index's bright spot. So, what implications does this have for NVIDIA's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication. So if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on NVIDIA stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now let's get back to the video.
After a huge year for artificial intelligence, what is in store for next year? I don't know. Kate Rooney probably knows because she read the Goldman Sachs report. It's great to see you, Kate.
Great to see you. Great to be here in person, guys. So I did speak to the bank's top tech executive. He shared his outlook on AI for next year. I spoke to Goldman's chief information officer, Marco Argenti, exclusively on the topic. He spent the bulk of his career at AWS, Amazon Web Services, and Nokia back in the day, now handles Goldman's AI efforts. We first talked about what happened this year. He said right now in AI, it feels like the emergence of cloud when he was at Amazon, but faster. He says he's never seen anything like this in terms of the pace of development. He said the biggest surprise this year was this tech moving beyond things like chatbots into multimodal, which is pretty much a fancy way of saying AI that generates images and video. Says that next year, Fortune 500 companies are going to start to deploy this in a much more impactful way, and it eventually will evolve into what he calls a new hybrid workforce with AI agents working alongside people.
You might think of a future of a workforce where you're going to have managers that are going to manage both human employees and AI employees. You might have the role of human capital management functions that are going to become human and machine capital functions that are going to be working on both evolving the career of humans and also evolving the career of AIs.
Argenti says there will be an emergence of AI experts that have a very niche, specific type of industry knowledge. So think of banking, for example. In the case of Goldman Sachs, he is expecting major robotics breakthroughs as well. Says AI safety is going to become a bigger priority on company boards, not just for regulators. And then large language model commoditization, he says we're going to see, he described it as many cars, fewer engines, the engines here being the underlying models. As that happens, the data the companies train off, he says, are going to really start to emerge as an edge, guys.
Is it going to change the world now? Or because it doesn't seem like it's quite ready for prime time yet.
That's one of the big predictions. I think this is also part of the AI narrative and the valuation story, that it's got to help margins at some point in order for this narrative to continue. So I think there's a lot of pressure for this to actually start to impact normal companies, not just tech companies. If that doesn't happen, I think it takes some of the air out of what's going on here.
All right, well, it's going to be a fun year for you on the front lines. Kate Rooney, lovely to have you here.
Good to see you.
Regular investors are placing large bets rather than only purchasing stock. This year, Nvidia's exposure in retail portfolios has doubled, giving it the second largest holding after Tesla. Nvidia is changing the definition of leadership in the technology industry, whether it is through its groundbreaking AI innovations or its astounding market valuation of around $3.4 trillion. Although there have been some recent hitches with Nvidia's stock, investor confidence has not diminished. According to experts, this is only the start of a lengthy AI cycle, and Nvidia is well positioned to take the lead. Its use in everything from data centers to driverless cars guarantees its continued significance. According to one investor, Nvidia is a movement rather than merely a stock. The message is obvious as retail investors make their move. They are all betting on Nvidia's AI-powered future. Nvidia, with its market capitalization at about $3 trillion and its share price up 888% to close in on $140. NVDA has been on an unheard of ascent since the AI boom began in the middle of 2022. However, concerns about Nvidia's capacity to sustain this rate of expansion and anxiety about an AI-sparked bubble are becoming more significant as 2025 draws near. Although it's not a given, current analyst projections indicate Nvidia may hit $200 per share by 2025. Among the top 4 ratings for December are Cantor Fitzgerald and Truist, who predict price targets of $200 and $204 respectively. Others received more cautious upgrades from Morgan Stanley, which raised its objective from $166 to $168, and Daiwa Securities, which raised its aim from $125 to $160. The future of Nvidia is largely reliant on economic and geopolitical threats. Increased inflation worries and supply chain interruptions due to U.S.-China tensions are obstacles. However, economists also warn that worries about a market bubble and a general slowdown in the economy in 2025 may limit Nvidia's progress. For Nvidia's shares to trade at $164 to reach $200, its market capitalization would need to increase to $4 trillion, and it would then need to continue increasing from there. This is conceivable given Nvidia's dominance in AI and solid foundations, but there are barriers that prevent such lofty objectives. Investors are still split as the semiconductor behemoth enters a pivotal year. Is it likely that Nvidia's growth narrative is only beginning, or are 2025 predictions excessive? Only time will be able to determine whether $200 is a mirage or a milestone. Following the 2024 pattern, next year is expected to have a potential AI boom, but the focus is shifting from foundational to enterprise innovation. With the release of the eagerly awaited Blackwell chip, industry giant Nvidia is spearheading the shift as the competition to integrate AI into practical applications only heats up. To stay informed about the latest developments from Nvidia and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts, so hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Nvidia stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now let's dive into today's video.
Nvidia, what do you think? I mean, the growth is obviously going to slow down.
Yep.
But the valuation's fairly reasonable considering kind of where the broad market's at and where other stuff is at too.
Yep, and you have to take a look at it. Probably going to see a little bit of a reset into the end of 2024, into 2025. I've already started to see that at the beginning of December. Should take that into consideration, the correction territory that it's in. And you've got a lot of the other Mag 7 names that are, starting to get valuations that are actually above Nvidia. And we haven't seen any pullback expectations from some of the major tech players for their products. So I looked at something that gives me a little bit of duration in this one going into 2025. If you think it's going to rebound. And I picked a couple of strikes that are near at the money at the current rate, around 130, 129 or so, where you think it's going to go higher. But then you're offsetting some of the costs on that bullish position because the farther you go out, and I'm going out to February monthly option series, so a couple months till expiration from the end of the year to give myself that duration. But what that means is you're going to have an excess extrinsic option premium in calls that you buy that might be at the money. So you want to offset some of those costs. So I looked at a basic call vertical here where I'm going to take advantage of maybe a move higher in the stock, but capping my gains because I can offset some of my risk on that position. Buying the February 130 call, selling the February 145 strike call. That's still below those all-time highs that we saw at the end of November, above 152. So it's managed and conservative here, but still taking that bullish directional bias. $15 wide bullish call vertical here. You're paying roughly about a $570 debit for it if the stock's trading around 129, 130 at that point. So nearly 1/3 the width of the bullish call vertical here. Pay $570, your break even is going to be $135.70 to the upside. That's only about 5% above $129, $130. So you don't need a massive move to the upside on this one to profit. You're going to avoid that earnings that comes in at the end of February also, so that might be key. But you're going to capture some upside here over the next couple months.
All right, I like that. So also you don't need like a massive move for Nvidia to break out. You just need it to firm back up, kind of drift to the top of the range early next year. For Palantir,
although AI didn't cost anything, its contribution to the Nasdaq's record highs was highlighted in 2024 when Nvidia's market capitalization reached $3.4 trillion. However, 2025 is predicted to highlight businesses integrating AI into their core functions rather than making infrastructure investments. The revolutionary instances of how AI could rewrite profitability and business fundamentals are demonstrated by Applovin's transformation from a $13 billion gaming company to a $110 plus billion AI-driven advertising behemoth. Artificial intelligence, AI, has spread well beyond the IT industry, with sectors including manufacturing, healthcare, and finance poised to be upended. Businesses that shift their focus from basic investments to operational excellence will be the biggest winners in 2025. Companies are in a competitive rush to be the first to market with AI solutions, according to NVIDIA CFO Colette Kress. But there are still difficulties. It is anticipated that Nvidia's growth would level off to the mid-40% range by late 2025, indicating an endpoint in infrastructure demand. The question now is whether companies will be able to convert their first investments in AI into long-term benefits. Building the AI foundation was the focus of 2024. Delivery will be the focus of 2025. NASDAQ is poised to embark on a new era of innovation with its AI leaders, which might aid in reimagining sectors and promoting economic expansion. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.